let's stay on a similar theme and do a little bit more debunking. This is a great clip. And we're going to do another clip on the ever horrible Lib Dems. Guys, you gotta vote for the Labour Party in the UK. This is an incredible opportunity. And this opportunity facilitated a delightfully smug Yanis Varoufakis. But no country does, I'm sorry to say. There's a lot I love about the UK. But as far as like the dumb guy in the audience who's like, well, how's that going to work? I have to balance my checkbook. They have apparently a never-ending supply of these assholes. And Yanis Varoufakis was able to take care of one of them on Question Time. Let's check this out.
To you, sir, and then I come to you in the white shirt there.
Okay, I think politicians spend so much time arguing amongst themselves about the problem. Economics is really simple. I've got £10 in my pocket. If I go out and buy 3 pints of beer in Cambridge, I'm probably borrowing money. If I carry on doing that, then I'm going to run out of money and I'm going to go bust. It's not difficult, guys. Just sit down, work out what the country needs to do and work collectively
because the
together.
Country does not operate as your budget does.
We have a budget.
But why not? Why not? Why
in
not?
the country, total expenditure equals total income. In your life, you have a wonderful independence between your expenses and your income. So when you cut down on your expenses, your income doesn't cut. It's not cut. But for the country as a whole, if the country as a whole goes into a major savings spree, then its total income is going to come down. So your personal life is not a good model on which to base.
Let the man have his beer.
That's so good.
Look at Giannis' smile there.
Yeah, let's get it back.
That is like the perfect, like,
so good.
swarthy Greek schools, mayo brain Brit.
Send me that clip. I gotta replay it later on.
Yeah, this is like the best Assassin's Creed Odyssey downloadable content ever.
You gotta forward me that clip.
It's so sad. It's like though, but we're trying to get people to think a little bit about how we democratize an economy, how we go to post-capitalism so that we can realize the goals of the Enlightenment and stave off an ecological crisis and so on. And then you watch that clip and it's like, oh, whew, we got to go back to 101 Keynes, man. I mean, that is the most basic economic lesson in the world. And there's amazing how many people still think. First of all, how many guys, and they usually look like that dude, have, like, it should at least occur, like, he should have at least said, I've heard literally 1 million other mediocre middle mind people use the same analogy and I'm going to use it. Yeah, right. He just said the public, like, every fucking person calling for austerity has said, well, I have to balance my checkbook.
But I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's obviously, it's very funny, but that's just showing like how powerful, how much better the right wing has been for decades. You know, Varoufakis is very good at this, though, at like making economics accessible to people. So what they do is they give people, like the right wing, they give people this homespun nonsense, like, oh, don't spend more than your household can make. Or they do the other side, was like, oh, this stuff's too complicated. You know, you need a PhD to understand this. But Varoufakis wrote a book called, you know, Talking About the Economy to My Daughter. And it's actually like a good, like, 10-chapter book that goes through a lot of these ideas very clearly and very, you know, in a very accessible way. So when you see this stuff over and over and over, it just means we got to work a little bit harder to make sure people can understand these concepts because they're not that difficult to understand.
How do you find that process with your students?
My students, I have to admit, come very unprepared.
Yeah.
I devote at least 3 classes just teaching basic writing. And thankfully, the journalism background helps, you know. We use the pyramid scheme, which is very helpful, even in papers that have nothing to do with journalism.
What's the pyramid scheme?
You know, rank the most important, inverted pyramid, rank the most important stuff up high.
Yep.
And they get it very quickly. I give them very basic examples. I say, if you're walking from Columbus Circle, you're coming to class, and, you know, you find money along the way. You find a $100 bill, you find a $50 bill, you find a $20 bill. And then you come to class and I ask you, okay, tell me what you found. Which one are you going to tell me first? So of course I'll tell you I found $100 and then $50 and then $20. But I'm not going to say $20 even if I pick the $20 first. I say, why? Because $100 obviously is more than 50, it's more than 20. So they start thinking how to prioritize the information that they research in their papers. And it transforms them. Everybody that at the end of the semester leaves that class an improved writer. Forget even the history that we teach, which is supposed to be the class. But I combine the history and the other stuff that I know they have some weakness with. And I also have background in economics, so I plug that in as well.
And do you see those disanalogies? Speaking of Burgess, what a crazy disanalogy. Like your household income is the same as a national economy.
That is in the beginning
right.
of the semester. But by the end, so there's hope for that beer drinking guy too.
Well, he just needs to take your class. After that schooling by Varoufakis, then he could take Professor Alamati's class.
He looked stunned. He said, "Why not?" And
well, I liked it because he looked. He was shrewd. And, I mean, in a way, you feel bad for him because his one television appearance in life is going to be being humiliated by Yanis Varoufakis. But he was being a jackass. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.